Hello, hello. I know no one is here, but I'll wait until hopefully at least a person or two comes in. Otherwise, I just spent the last hmm, several hours making cards for nothing. Anyway, I'm going to push this back just a little. Let's see. The first thing is this one. I'm a little early. Take a sip of water. Sorry, I should have put my headphone off. As you come in, could you let me know if you hear me okay? And whether you can see okay. Let's see, I have both lights on here. Bring this one down a little. Hello, hello. Come in and say hello. I see two people waiting or on. Nope, one person on. Don't get scared by coffee. We're not doing coffee. Well, we might, but not in the beginning. So, hi, Martha. Thank you for joining me. Can you hear me okay? Just going to give it a few minutes and let people come in. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy you could join so early in your morning. So I'm trying to use up this coffee paper pad, and I did a little short video on my community page, but I don't think anybody saw it just this morning. Anyway, I had 11 sheets of this left after doing my coffee stuff for National Coffee Day. I still have 3 and all these scrappy papers left. If we have time at the end after doing 5 cards, I think there's 5, um, I might try and do that, or maybe I'll make use this green with some of these scraps, which I did on some of the other cards too with a different sheet. So, yeah, because these are cut apart sheets. So, but I don't know if I want to cut them apart. I think I just want to use this, the black and white side. And this one has coffee cups on it. So, oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I actually have you beat. I've been up since 3:30 today because of Callie. I would have liked to have slept till 4:30 or 5:30, but I don't ever get to go till 5:30 anymore with her. I don't know. The doctor said it could be this issue that she's having with her thyroid, or it could be that she might be starting to get dementia. I know it's really bad. And then by 8:30, like I was watching your live yesterday, and it started spooling, but I was kind of thankful because I was getting ready to fall asleep anyway. So, all right. Well, what time are we at here? We are at 11. So hopefully more than you will just join. She meows, and when we first got her, she never me she I mean, she meowed occasionally, but, I mean, she meows at the top of her lungs until somebody will, um, get up and feed her or do something, and I think it might be because she's hungry because of this thyroid issue. She's, like, constantly hungry, but she was losing weight, and I am giving her the medicine, but I made her wait until 4:30 because I don't wanna start feeding her at 3:30 in the morning, so I just gave her a couple treats and went back to bed, but she still was meowing, so I just said, "Okay, I'll get up and be with you, but I'm not giving you anything till 4:30." Then after she gets her breakfast and stuff, and her medicine, she settles. She was up here with me for a while. Now she's out on her little landing she has because it's sunny there. So, all right, somebody else joined. Hello, please. Oh, they left again. Wow. Oh well. We're going to be making cards today because it's World Card Making Day, and this is the first one that we're going to make. It's called a Z fold, or I saw somebody and they said if you turn it this way, it's an S fold. I don't know. I always have called it a Z fold. So this is what we're going to use, but I don't think I had enough of this paper, so I brought in. I did for this, but on this part, we're going to use a different sheet of paper, not in that paper pad, but that I thought went well with it, and that'll be this, which is a pretty peacock color gingham double-sided from Stampin' Up. These are obviously not Stampin' Up. The cardstocks are all, except for the white cardstock, it's all Stampin' Up stuff because I have it. And this is a retired color called Rococo Rose. So, all the cards we're gonna make will fit in what's called an A2 size envelope. I really hope more people come in, but I'm gonna get started because it's after 11. So it'll be like that, and then you can write your message. Some people don't put white in here. You can decorate this side too if you want, or just leave it plain. But it's a skinny strip to write on, so I put white on that side too, so when you open it up, it's like that. Except I have a glue smudge. Yeah, I mean, she's been taking it. I think I um counted like about a week or 8 days, something like that now. But they won't do blood work again until a month to make sure it's working. And if it's not, they might put me on a waiting list for radioactive iodine. And I'm not sure how I feel about that because I had that. And what that does is it actually kills your thyroid gland, and then you're on, for humans, then you're on like a synthroid, fake thyroid medicine to regulate it back up. And it took me 2 years to get the right dosage to regulate mine, and it's been okay ever since. But yeah, I don't. I said that to the doctor or the vet, and she said, well, we give her the iodine, but radioactive iodine. But when I said, well, then you're on medicine the rest of your life to regulate back up, and she didn't seem to think that would be the case with a cat. So, but I think if they just nuke the thyroid, then they're if they don't regulate it back up, then they just go the other way, hypothyroidism, and I don't know. I have to talk to her more about it. All right, so this is the card we're gonna make, and I am using this stamp set. It's looks like it did carry over to the current catalog, so this is current. Where in the world would I be without you? And I am using the dies that go with it, which I should separate from this because these can be used for a lot of things. And some of the cards I use this, some of the cards I use this. And one of the cards, actually this one, we're going to use some of these little flowers too. I didn't use them on this, I just used some rhinestones. But let me put this aside and bring out the pieces and I'll give you the measurements. Thank you, Martha. I appreciate it. It's probably an odd time to do this, but it was the best time for me, and I don't know. Um, anyway, so I've already die cut and stamped everything. This is the piece of the gingham. So the card base is when you get a sheet of what's called 8.5 by 11-inch paper in the States. It's called A2 size paper. If you cut it down in half, I'm going to get a piece of paper. Hang on. I don't have the colored paper up here. This is 8.5 by 11. So if you cut it in half at 5.5, you get two A2 size card bases, and that's what this is. So this was the other half of it, and this is Rococo Rose. And then you need to score it at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. So on a standard card, let's see if I have a regular card base already done. Yeah. On a standard card, you would also score it at 4 1/4. but you just don't have this extra score line. So it's really easy um, to do the folding. And then you just do your mats. So I did not put extra mats down. I just put the cardstock down because I don't think it really needs an extra mat. On some of the other cards, I do that. Hello, whoever else joined. Thank you. And I even drew lines on my paper so that I could see where I need to be so I'm in in focus. Hopefully. Okay. So this is not from the paper pad. For those coming in, I'm using this Echo Park coffee paper pad that I used for the National Coffee Day projects. And I'm trying to use it up, but most of the papers left, except for three, were 3 or 4 were florals. So I'm trying to use those and also the backs of some of them that maybe weren't florals or even those that were if I needed them. So this piece, the two designer papers, are cut at 2 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches wide. Okay. And the white piece, um, the white piece, okay. On this card, I had two white pieces. They're two by, let's see, two by, I have, oh no, two times. It's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Sorry, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And I did cut two pieces of pattern paper with the same measurements, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So I didn't have enough of this paper, so I'm using this pattern paper that I had, and we're going to put that over here. And the color, one of the colors in here and in here is very close to Stampin' Up's Pretty Peacock. I don't know if you can see the leaves. So this is Pretty Peacock from Stampin' Up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start gluing down. Let me bring my glue over. And this is again called a Z fold card. You could use this side too, but I like the more dainty side better for this. The flowers are kind of a muted, and one of the flowers on there looks like a rose and the other one doesn't. So I just use whatever flowers on some of them, and some I didn't use flowers at all. That glue, I have to remember, don't get it so close to the edge. Now you could put another piece of cardstock under this, which you'd have to cut like 1/8 of an inch wider than the designer paper, but I decided not to. So the weather here is actually really, really beautiful today. Is that right side up? Or is this right side up? Ugh. I'm actually kind of nervous because I haven't done a live in a long time, quite a while. But I need to get back into doing it. I used to love doing them too. Okay, so that's those, and then the white is cut the same size, and we just the only thing with that is to make sure you could cut a bigger piece, but you want to make sure it's not sticking out beyond the flap. Okay, and actually, we're going to turn this one this way instead of it's the same exact card cut, but we're going to turn it so that it's landscape instead. But let me get this in here. 100? Wow, we're going up to 73, I think. I usually try and walk in the early morning, but lately it's been like 58 degrees, and actually we've had some drizzly mornings too. I'm gonna walk after this live or maybe after lunch today. I don't know if I'll do my whole 40 minutes or not, but I'll do something. Actually, and that's why I didn't put another white up here because this is going to open this way instead. Glad I remembered that. Now, This is out of that expressions, what I call it? The Thoughtful Expressions bundle. And I'm not selling anything. I don't work for anybody anymore except me. And I did take this after I die cut it and I ran it through an old embossing folder called Tasteful Textile, but you can use any embossing you have, or you can just ink it, or you can stamp a overall pattern on it, whatever you want to do. These are just ideas. So we are going to, let me move this over for a second. I die cut out, these are from the same set of dies, these little leaves and these itty bitty little pink flowers. There should be 6 of them, yes. I almost lost one earlier. I don't know if I'll need 6, but I'm trying to see, sometimes I put the leaves in like this. I think I want them on this side though, because there's a little more white up here and I'm going to put the flowers on top. So let's put 2 leaves. So how will I attach them? You'll see in a minute. And then we'll have like a cluster of 3 little pink flowers here, something like that. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a glue dot on back up here and here, and then glue this down onto this part, and then we'll do the little flowers. So let me get a glue dot or 2. And you don't have to do this either. You can just do like embellishments like I did on the first card, or nothing. Whatever you want. When you make a card, you do it your way. That's the whole process. Hello, other people. Well, I had 3 people, but now I'm down to 2 again. Well, hello to the second person, whoever you are. Don't be shy. I think I got that up too high. Yeah, well, it's all right. Let's put the other ones on. And I also got that on backwards. That one, it's okay. I was going to ink them a little bit, but I don't need to. Just when I'm sticking out a little bit like that. This one I'm really not happy with. There we go. There, down a little bit. All right, let's glue this down. And that way, even though we're going to bump this up entirely a little bit. Oop, did I lose one? I lost one, actually. All right. Might need another glue dot. Yep, I do. I don't think I could bear 100 degrees very often. I'm a spring and fall lover. And out here we used to get those seasons pretty well. Nowadays we don't exactly get them like they used to be. Okay. Ugh. Why is that doing that? Sticking to me instead of the thing. There we go. Now, let's put out a little glue again. And I'm going to stand up because I want to get this in right. So far that's what we have. Crooked. You have a second to fix it. Now I need to get my little picker-upper thingy and maybe my art glitter glue if there's any left in it to get these to go down. And let me make sure it'll come out. Nope. All right, hang on. Samara, good morning. I'm so glad you could join. Yay. Spread the word. Spread the word. This is a pin I keep with a ball in the end. I don't think it's stainless steel, but these get clogged up pretty frequently, actually. Let me test it again off to the side. I don't know. Yep, there we go. All right. So now I need my picky tool. And I'm just going to put a dollop on the center of the back. Oops. Except it didn't want to stay there. And we're going to see my fingers are sticky. That's why it doesn't want to cooperate. How are you doing, Samara? Samira comes to my channel pretty regularly, so thank you for that. And Martha does too. And are you doing any crafting now, Samira? Are you still on hiatus, so to speak? Like I was for 2 months, pretty much. The glue is running out of this bottle, so I'm taking it. That's because it's almost empty and it probably has an air bubble. Taking it and spreading it with my finger over the back, and then I'm going to have to use water and wipe my fingers off. We're just going to do flowers like that. And I have a tissue thing here. I'll wipe this off. And I'm going to actually just stick this pin in there and hope that it doesn't glue itself in there. Now, I just want to put a few little gems on there. And so if you don't have many gems, I recommend two things: clear rhinestone jewels and little pearls, because you can color them with alcohol markers if you so choose. Like I don't know if you can see it, but I did there. There's some purple ones in there. Those were clear like this before. So I shouldn't have put my picky tool away. Let's go ahead and put some little ones in the centers of some of these flowers. And then we'll put this down on the card. And they don't have to be Stampin' Up. You can get them. I don't know if I recommend Dollar Tree for these because they're usually all like big ones, and I like some of the little sizes, but sometimes Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's has stuff like that. I don't know, wherever you can find multiple size ones. I do like these. I don't even know if Stampin' Up still sells these. Maybe, but I got them in 2022, and I think they had them for a long time. All right, so now this is going to go right here. This is a Z-fold card, Samira. Yeah, you're welcome. It has to be alcohol marker. And if you have some that are darker than lighter, the darker color looks better because it lightens up on there. And then just let it dry totally completely before you start trying to put it on anything, or the alcohol might rub off. Okay, because this is hanging over, we only want to put something, either glue or I'm going to use dimensionals on the upper part. So this is a cool thing to have this particular die cut, because I can know if I flip it over the right way not to put dimensionals below halfway down there. And it goes this way, Deb. Okay. So I'll put one at the top. And I will put one here just above, whoop, let me do it this way, just above that mark. And everybody has a different way of doing stuff. This is my way, you know. You do you. You could also ink around the edges. I didn't really feel like it needed it for this card or the other one that was the sample. So this is going to go on here, and I'm gonna actually stand up to make sure I line it up pretty good. And you want to make sure I got that just on with the, you can see the glue dots under there, but they're not sticking out here. And that's what you want. And there is our first card, a Z fold card. This was the sample I made, and this was the landscape version of it, which you would write in up here. And this one I put an extra white piece in because it'll open like this, and you can write on both sides if you so choose. So there's card number one. And I will, since I already stated the measurements, I will put the measurements for the two fun folds that we're doing anyway down below, okay? After the video live goes up, 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 up. All right, let me figure out what I did with the folder I had these in. Card number one. Okay, and actually these have to get put away too. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the paper is, I don't know if you missed that. It's out of this coffee Echo Park paper pad. And I use this for National Coffee Day for my projects for that. Excuse me. But the all but the rest, these three papers that I still have left were floral. So, and we might get to those too. I just didn't have time to make cards with them before coming on. And I'm going to stick that back in here until we get that far. 6x6 pads, another tip I already said the other day, but they fit in quart-size Ziplocs. So you can keep all your scraps in there and they won't fall out too. And they're easy to store that way. And if you have the kind that has a label-y thing on it, you can even write what they are, but I don't because I reuse them when the paper pad's gone. Hello, hello, whoever else joined, say hello. We have 7 showing us on. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining. We'll be making our second card, and it's another fun fold. It is a, what is it called? A pop-out card. It goes like this. So you write your message on the back, and it just lays like that. But it also, as you can see, fits into an A2 size envelope. An A2 in the States is pretty standard, and you can find boxes of envelopes at your Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever, I think. Mariposa, yay! Thank you. Yeah, happy card making day to you too. I appreciate you joining. So that's what we're going to do, a pop-up card. I learned this from watching a lady called Cards TV by Mary. I don't remember. The video I think was a while ago. I don't know. Yeah, 10 months ago I wrote down. So, but I like to give credit where credit is due, and I will try to link at least her channel. I mean, her whole channel is card making. Um, this is the back of this paper. So it is still from the same paper pad. The cardstock is pale papaya, which is retired Stampin' Up. And this darker orangey color, this color, is Calypso Coral. That's current color. And I just thought it went good with the flowers in this paper. Um, I'm still using the dies from the Thoughtful Expressions bundle, these though, instead of these this time. But I'm not using the stamp set. I'm bringing in a stamp from Punch Party, which is retired, because I needed something vertical, and that fit on here beautifully, I thought. So that's what I used, and I already stamped it, I think, or maybe, yeah, I think I did. Hang on, let me get the pieces, and I'll give you the measurements. Just stand that up over here. Make sure you score it really good. That's the only thing, which we'll do on this one. So, this is the Pale Papaya cardstock. I already scored it, but when I fold it, I'll tell you. So this is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I scored it at 1 7/8 inches, 3 inches, which is right here, 5.5 inches, and 6 5/8. So what we do is we fold at the 3 inch and the 5.5 inch because we want this part to pop out like that, right? And then this side we have to fold, let's see, backwards the other way. And I'm going to get my bone folder, and this side too, fold backwards. So look, it almost looks like a gatefold, but doesn't match up when you do it that way. So let me see. Oh, I know I did that wrong. Anyway, you end up with that. So I actually folded it the wrong way. It has to come forward instead of backwards. And then this one goes back. I hope that made sense. I get confused on directions. Okay, so I'll just say the cardstock again, 8.5 by 5.5. Score at 1 7/8, 3 inch, 5.5 inch, 6 5/8 inch. And then just fold them in opposite directions so that your front is sticking up like that, and score it really good if you can. Turn it over and score it really good. So on this, where your sentiment will go, other than if you stamp one, goes on the back in here. So that piece of white, let me get out the pieces, is cut at, let's see, 5 1/4 by 2 3/8. Now I cut that one at 5 1/4. On the front. You'll see I cut it just a little different, but that'll fit right in here. And you could put another sentiment on. For my purposes, I left them blank, but we'll do the front first. So for the front, we have different papers. Well, same actually. Okay, so you can see this is the floral, and the back of it is this sort of gingham. And these are my calypso coral pieces. This is pale papaya. So the center mat here is 2 3/8 inches this way by 5 3/8 inch this way. It's a little bit, 1/8 of an inch longer than the white I put in. And then these are 1 3/4 inches this way by 5 3/8 this way. And they're going to go over here. Now on this card, the side pattern paper were 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. I think on these I messed up the paper a little bit, and I had to cut them down a little bit thinner than that. So they're probably 1 1/2 by 5 1/4 instead of the other. But go by this card, which is, what did I just say? 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. And this pattern paper here is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. For this card and the one I did before, I will put the measurements down in the description when I'm done. Okay. All right. So then all we do is put them on, glue them down, put this on, glue it down, and then we'll glue our back on, and then we decorate the front. Now you could just put a really nice big floral on here or something. You don't have to put a sentiment on the front, but I kind of like this, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. And then I thought I'd leave the inside blank because special day could be birthday, could be a graduation, it could be anything you want it to be, right? An anniversary even, and then you could stamp or write happy anniversary, happy birthday. I was gonna make it a birthday card and stamp happy birthday on the inside, but I decided to leave it blank because I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. You're welcome. It'll be, once this goes up, so I don't know how long that'll be, but I'll put them in. These are the only 2 fun folds, so sorry for those that you really like them, but I just didn't have time to do more. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these down, and this glue is really, comes out really fast, so I have to be careful, and, like, this has a big blob here, and I'm gonna take my finger and smear it in there because it will ooze out, and I need to stand up because if I don't, I might get it on crooked anyway. Oh, is that the wrong mat? Alright, this one I didn't cut right, which is gonna be bad, but we're gonna use it anyway. I cut this the same height as the mat, and it shouldn't be. It should be an eighth of an inch smaller on each side, so a quarter inch smaller total. It'll be all right, right? Adds interest, and I still didn't get it centered. You should yell at me, Deb. What are you doing? I like them too. I'm just not very good at them. So I watch other people, and when I was a demonstrator, I tried to do some, but I also tried to do some easier cards because not everybody's into fun folds but these are easy fun folds. These aren't hard. All right, I'm just gotta be above my line so you can see. See these are pretty close to or maybe I did them. No, they're a little bit lower. They're an eighth of an inch in. So anyway, it'll work because that part will be hidden a little bit. Still looks a little crooked to me though. I think my eyes are crooked sometimes. What do you think? uh, it's all right. Okay, next one. My practice one. Well, no. Uh, this is not the practice one. That was supposed to be the practice, but I might end up liking that one better, huh? And you could use the same paper on the edges, but I just like to have a little variety, and since it was right on the back of the same paper, yeah, we just used it like that. Yep. Okay. And also this glue, it will move if you move it, if you push down and slide, if it's still really wet, it'll move on you. All right, I am going to try and lay this flat-ish. So if you can see where your folds are before you actually um, fold it, like see where your scores are, leave it flat, and that way you can glue stuff down better. Really, Samira? I'm glad I'm not alone then. I actually did one of them. I don't know which one. I had to take it just had a slight, angle, and I had to take it to my guillotine to get that off. I think that was the first card, though. So this is gonna go in the center on the middle. That does look crooked, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, everything looks crooked to me. I just had my eyes checked in May, but I don't have my glasses on, and I can't wear contacts. My glasses are, so you wanna leave this blank, or you could put paper here too, but I don't think I need it because that's gonna be folded back, so it'll be hidden anyway. Now here, I do try and at least line the top up sorta straight, but it's not, is it? Yeah, yeah, it's dead straight. Okay. Alright, and then the other side. Let's see. They're all crooked. They're all crooked. Must be my paper trimmer. I'm blaming on the paper trimmer. It's not me. Oh boy. I do think my paper trimmer is off a little bit. I really want to get a good guillotine trimmer, because I don't know if those blade ones really work accurately enough. So there, that's going to be what our card will look like, just like this one. And now we're just going to ink around the edge of this, and maybe on this one, we'll ink around the edge of this too. And we're going to use Calypso Coral because I have it. But you can use, I have other inks too. I have Memento, those little dewdrops, and they have a lot of colors in there, but I have the cardstock to go with these inks. So as long as I have all this cardstock and stuff still and the inks, I might as well use them. I also have Distress Oxides and a few Distress inks. Um, and I'll use them for other stuff. I was using them on World Card Making Day too. And also for, not World Card Making Day, for the jeans collab, the, breast cancer awareness. I just bent that. Oh, well, I'll put that at the bottom if I remember. And if you don't have dies to get those little flowers and stuff that I used on the first card, there's these kind of flowers. In fact, I thought about, oops, I just knocked some stuff over. I thought about using this color because it would go, and you could do that. I have bunches of pre-made flowers, or if you have a punch, which I do have out too, but I put it away because I didn't use it. I have it somewhere out. So I think that just helps. This edging just helps make it pop. So use what you have. I'm in use what you have mode right now. And this is going to go on here like this once I get it together. Okay, and then this I already pre-tied because you don't want to see me struggle with ribbon, right? This is Calypso Coral to match the mats and stuff. I want to show you the difference on the good card on how the mats and stuff should look. So that's glued together. Now we're going to put it on dimensionals because I got to pop. Now these are not super dimensional, so you can see it doesn't have a lot of space in there, which is good because postage is so. This will still probably be, to mail it will probably still be, the 80-cent stamp or whatever it is now. I have to get more of those actually. Um, non-machinable, especially if I put gems on, which I'm going to do. And I'm just going to put 5 on. Oops. Hello, people joining. Thank you for coming. Say hello. Love to have you with us here. All right, standing up again to try and get this centered as best I can. Something like that, right? And then I have glue dots, and for this type of ribbon or trim, actually, this is retired, but it's braided linen trim. I also have it in a green color here because I just love this stuff. It ties and it stays. Some of the slippery ribbons, they they don't stay in place, right? So this is just a glue dot, and I'm thinking this time though, I'm gonna put it, see how I have this one, it's above there, and I sort of thought it needed something like maybe on here instead. I did that originally because um, this is already bumped up, and I thought it would be flatter, but why are you doing this to me now? Maybe I should have put it down below and tucked it in. It'll be all right. Now, jemmies. So for this one, I used these retired thingies. This color is Calypso Coral and a butterfly. These, I believe, are still current. These, what are they called? Brushed brass butterflies. These I'm pretty sure are retired, but I'm not 100% positive. Let's see. They're from 2022. I'm pretty sure they're retired. So we're just going to put a big one down here at the bottom. Maybe we'll put them in the opposite side this time. And a little one. Where did I put it? I put it over here. I might still put it over there. And another little one up there, and then a little butterfly. Thank you, Martha. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't gravitate towards like oranges and stuff, but I thought the colors in the paper matched up with what I had for cardstock, so I'm using it. Now, maybe we'll put a big butterfly this time up here and a little one down here. Now that's only two, but that's five embellishments, so I think that's enough. Because I don't want to run out of these. I like them because they're flat. They lay flat, so they're really cool. And I have them in, they, I don't know if these are still current or not, the dragonflies and birds too. So I like them. So that is card 2. No, we forgot to put the back on. I should have done that before I put all that stuff on it. But this is just going to go here. And this piece again, I cut at 5 1/4 by 2 3/8. The mats on the front are actually 5 3/8 by 2 3/8. So you could do the same. It would be a little bit longer, but I just didn't. And I think the reason I didn't is because I could get two of these out of a, no, I couldn't. Never mind. I lie. Not intentionally. Sometimes I just forget. All right, let me see if there's a back and a front. I don't think it matters. I'm pretty sure the cardstock I'm using here is from scrapbook.com and it was called Solar White. I'll show it to you in a minute. But I'm just using it because it's open and it doesn't have to be super heavy cardstock for putting on the inside of cards or anything. Now, also for the first card, if you have, let me get that back out in case people missed that one. The first card we did was a Z fold, this one. And we did, that was what I made ahead of time. And this is the one we did together. So I landscaped it. But if you just have store-bought cards, you can use them and make a Z fold. All you have to do is score in the middle of the front and bend it back, and you can either have it portrait or this way. So you can do that with even store-bought A2 size cards or store-bought any card really. Let me put that away. And everything I'm making today will fit in an A2 sized envelope. Okay. All right. So now so any questions on that one? This is called a pop out card, and the other one was called a Z or S fold card, depending on um, how you do it. Okay. All right. Let me put them back in their folder if I can find it again. I don't know. Next one will be a regular card, and I don't have a sample, but I prepped it. I prepped it up. I don't know what I do with my folder to put this in. I'll just stick them over here. Okay. Oh, is this it? No. All right. So this one is the same paper that I used on this, which is different than I used on the first card. So I wanted to use the rest of that piece of paper. or I might have had 2 pieces of that paper. So, um, hang on. And this is the back of the paper from the first card. Let me show you. This was the first card I had done, right? But on the back of it was this rose kind of color. So I ran that through the subtle embossing folder, which is retired, but you can use anything you have. Or you can even just, you know, draw lines on it or something. It just has a real faint texture to it. See? So I'm using that, but then I'm using the rest of the paper. I think it was the rest of, no, had to be a different sheet because this is too big, I think. Anyway, I'm using another one of these and it has gray on the back, which I did not end up using for these at all. Now I decided to do this one on a plain card base. This is very vanilla thick, but Stampin' Up! I don't think sells that anymore. So any kind of cream color, or you could even find a color maybe closer to this in the background, just a neutral. And I do have a piece of white in here. This is going to be a landscape card. So, and we're going to color this together. I've already colored the pieces for the front. And this is again using Thoughtful Expressions. Oops, that's not it. This one, which is still current, I believe. Has a beautiful hummingbird too, but I didn't use that today. Not using the dies this time. I'm just using, I keep pulling out the stamps. This stamp and this stamp. And I've already colored them with alcohol markers, which we're going to use in a second here for the one on the inside. Yeah, so let me get them out of the way. I did all the stamping ahead of time. And this was a scrap of paper from cutting, I think, this piece off somehow. This on the side. That's what it was. Maybe that side. Yeah, it was that side. So I had a little strip. It was a little longer, and I just trimmed it off and put it over there. I stamped You're in My Thoughts today out of Pretty Peacock by Stampin' Up! Because, again, the leaves look like that same color. And we're going to color that flower. And I did it on a separate piece of paper, even though this is cardstock. Okay, so this is 8.5 by 11 paper too, but it's the 11-inch side and scored at 5.5. So you either have a card this way. Hi, Therese. Welcome. You either have a card this way or landscape. And we're going to do this one landscape after we color. And it's really simple. Um, so this, I'm pretty sure I cut to 5.25 this way by 4 1/8 I did actually. So there's a little more sticking out the sides than on the top. I might trim that down just a little bit on the top. Let's do that first because I'll forget. I just need about 1/8 of an inch off, and then I think it'll look more even. Hopefully that's 1/8, yep. And I do not keep strips this thin. I keep them 1/4 inch because I can use them as embellishments and stuff. So anyway, so that will go this way like that. And then this is going to go, the textured piece is also 5 1/4 by, I don't remember. It was a scrap from cutting that first one, probably like 2 something. Yeah, this is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. Yep. And that'll go right across there. It's textured with an embossing folder. And then I went ahead and stamped these and colored them already and die cut them. If you don't have that and you're someone who can draw, like certain people in the audience here, not me, you can just draw your own flowers and either cut them out or we're going to pop them up. So the front on this one will not have a sentiment. The sentiment is on the inside, okay? And I am not a good colorist, but I'll give it a try. So I'm using alcohol markers. This is Rococo Rose, which is retired, which is pretty close to this same color here. This is Pale Papaya, also retired. And this is Pretty Peacock, which was retired, but it came back. All right. So on this one, which I did first, I colored the dark first. All these stamps, they make it so easy because they put the lines in where your shading needs to be for the dark color. So this is like Deb Dummy way of coloring. But I think I need to do the just color it in the light first. And I'm going to use the small end of these. They have a small end and a brush end. If you have other markers, you can use them, and you can. The only thing with other markers is you have to figure out which colors you want to blend together because they're not necessarily two shades of the same color in the set you get. I have a lot of Altenew alcohol markers. I tend to forget about them, actually. And they're right down here next to me, where these are right in front of me. Okay. And then I'm going to go with light pale papaya in the center here. I just did that wrong. Mariposa, yeah. So this is the light again. I'm going to go ahead and color that all in, which is what I meant to do. And there's these little, the first time I did this, I colored them in orange, but I don't know if they're a different leaf altogether, but because that one's up pretty far. But I'm going to go ahead and make them pink anyway, and maybe add a little bit of pale papaya in. And this one kind of goes over that leaf, and I think the first time I colored the leaf, I have to be careful. I went outside the lines, guys. Do you color outside the lines? Or do you not color with lines? um, I have an accounting degree, and I was in business contracts and finance and ethics compliance and stuff like that. So I'm pretty detail oriented. So it's just the fact that I'm even doing all this crafty stuff is totally different from my field. But my point being, I'm kind of more of a in the lines kind of girl, and I'm trying hard to break out of that at my old age here. It's more fun to break out of that, and I have the freedom to break out of that now. So, yeah, so far anyway. Okay, so that was the dark, light and dark Rococo Rose. Put them back here, and then I'm going to leave the the center of that because I'm bringing in another. Actually, I'll just do it. These are glaze pens, and I'll use more in a little bit. Um, they're by, they're from Japan. I want to say Osaka or something like that. I can't read it. It just says, oh yeah, no, it says Glaze Japan. I'm pretty sure the brand is like Osaka or something. And I originally bought them at Michael's years ago, and then some of them started running low. Sakura, excuse me, I can see it on the black one. Sakura glaze pens. I love these things, and I'm starting to use them a lot more again. You'll see them later on a project too, but just felt like I needed that center to pop more, and here it goes, right? And that takes a minute to dry, and then I'm going to actually take the dark brush end of the pale papaya and actually kind of add that into the center here a little bit. So the reason with alcohol markers you should do it on separate paper is because they go through. So if you do this on your card base, the back of your card is going to have that on it, and you don't want that. And the ink I used to stamp this was Memento Tuxedo Black because it works well with um, alcohol markers. All right, so this is Pretty Peacock. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go in with light first, and then I'll put the little lines in. And then if I need to blend it more, which I didn't feel like I needed to do much with that, I'll go over it with the light again. And you do have to kind of be careful if you're an in the lines person to not get too close to the edge or it will bleed like it did down there. And I have a solution for that. It's a color lifter. Sometimes they work good for me and sometimes they don't. Okay, this is the dark. But like I said, I'm not an expert colorist. If you want to watch some experts, there are some of them online with us today. You know who you are. Raise your hands. I'm not that person. And I think that's all I'm going to do there. Then let's go ahead and glue that in. And then we're going to do one more thing to this piece because I just think it looks too plain. And, oops, I'm using this glue. This is Tombow Multi. It is not cheap. It's cheaper than art glitter glue. It works good on cards. I don't feel like it leaves, you know, marks like when you put it in, it doesn't leave glue lines usually, unless it's a real thin piece of paper you're working with. And I don't know what that mark is up there. Let's see if I can get that with a glue eraser. I don't think it's glue, but yeah, I don't know what I got there. Oh well, probably something off my fingers. So that's what the inside looks like. Now, one more thing before we put the front together. I want to flick this with a little bit of the Pretty Peacock. I have this dye-based marker. And if you've watched me for any length of time, you know I like to do this. I'm going to turn it this way. My messy mat, I put a new one down. These have a brush end and a writing end. I hate the writing ends. They don't write very well. The brush end on these particular ones were from Stampin' Up! Work really pretty good for coloring if you want to just color. I have to make sure I'm getting it on the paper. I'm just splattering. You can also use sprays, but I'd have to make a spray in the right color, or maybe black would be all right, or gray, because there's gray in the flowers. And then the cap gets it on the inside. I just kind of go like that and take it off, and that's it. And that just adds a little extra color variation to it. Thank you, Martha. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to go right in the middle. And this was the front. And again, this is textured. You can sort of feel it with the embossing folder. And you can tear the edges or ink around the edges. I don't do that on every single thing I make. I just don't feel like I need it. Get it on straight, Deb. Sort of in the middle. And then we'll glue this down. See, the back of that was gray. I didn't use the back of the one that has gray on it. Now, I watched somebody a couple of years ago, and they, which way do I want it? This way, I think. Uh, they start their glue in the middle and then go around the edge because that way, if it globs out, I can't decide. I think I'm going to do it this way, but I think I got it on crooked, and it's too late now. Oh well. Anyway, I should put ribbon on so it's not noticeable. Hi, Bex. Thank you for joining us. We're just making cards. This is our third one, and most of them are pretty simple. The first two were fun folds, and I'll have the measure. I'll show everything at the end. So these were out of that same stamp set, but I die cut them. This one I just colored on the paper. And we're just going to pop these up, and then we'll probably add a few jemmies. All right. I'm going to Do I like it that way or that way? I think I like it. I don't know. Decisions, decisions. I think I like it that way. We're going to have it like that and that. Very crooked piece. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to bump these up. I am going to hopefully have some little ones. Yeah. Mini dimensionals, if you don't have them, you can cut a regular size dot in half or in quarters if you need to, whatever. Or if you have foam tape, you can use that too and cut it up. Um, I like these because they're not super dimensional. I've tried other ones from like Dollar Tree and other vendors and stuff, and I keep coming back to the Stampin' Up ones. They're the, oops, I got two of those. They're not quite as dimensional as most of the other ones, and I like that because, you know, it's a card. If you mail it, as I explained earlier, you probably still have extra postage here, but maybe not. You might be able to get away with it if it's not too thick. And I didn't put extra layers behind the designer papers on this one like I did on the first two, or second one, I guess. I need to wash my hands in a minute here real quick because, or something, because everything's sticking to me. Uh, how are you doing, Bex? What are you up to? What's everybody up to actually today? Today is Saturday. Just heard my son get up. He's making his coffee. I had my quota for the day much earlier today. Oops. All right, put them out of the way. Which way did I say? This way? Yep. You could add sparkle and stuff to them if you want, but that is pretty much card number 3. You're in my thoughts today, and that could be for, you know, just a friend or someone that's going through something. And I don't know what that is. Probably a little, I don't know. Anyway, card number 3. I ran out of envelopes, so I won't stick that in an envelope. Yeah. Okay. Sewing in signatures. Oh, and a mini candy box junk journal. That sounds fun. And Martha says, trying to find stuff I want to use today, but it's buried somewhere. I can relate to that. Trust me. Oh, wait, I didn't put gems on here. I want to add something in between here. Probably just some basic ones again. Let's see what we have. We have the, oh, I think I wanted those or pearls. Decisions, decisions. I think these are iridescent rhinestones, and I don't remember if they're current or not from Stampin' Up. I have a ton of stuff from everywhere, but I mostly have Stampin' Up, as you all probably know. All right, but these are iridescent gems, and we'll put a couple of them on just to add a little blingy bling. Sometimes I forget to do that. And also, if you keep your cards for a long while, they'll, I think I want a couple more, maybe a little one or two. Have to have odd numbers. There, and then one, I guess down here somewhere, maybe. Yeah, I'll put it over here. How's that? Just a little something. And they're not up any higher now than these that I put on dimensional, so that'll work. I I don't do so good at sewing, and I do okay at sewing in signatures. I just don't make that many books. I make some, but not a ton. Okay, so that's card number 3. I'll show them all at the end again, so stick around. And like I said, the first 2 were fun folds. The measurements for those will be in the description after I upload this finally. And for those that came in late, we're using papers out of this old Echo Park. I don't know how old it is, but old Echo Park coffee paper pad. But we're using the florals there, and there's another. No, well, we're going to use that one too. But there's another one I don't see on here. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, here's another one. I don't know if I have them in the right order, but it's okay from what I did. All right. Come out wherever you are. Okay. Is this the same? This is the same paper we just used. And it's also the same card base, but it's A2, but this time it's turned like a standard A2. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. It gives you an A2 size card. Okay. So all these will fit in an A2 envelope. I keep repeating that, I'm sorry. And these were cut using the deckled rectangles, if I can find them somewhere. I don't know. I have them somewhere, but I don't know what I did with them. They're by Stampin' Up, of course. I have them out somewhere, but I don't know what I did with them. But the stamp set we're using is this one, and it's a retired one. That's going to be a theme from me going forward because a lot of my stuff will start to be retired. And this has a coordinating punch called the Butterfly Duet, also retired. And I used these butterflies. And these, when you stamp them, let me show you the stamps. They're together. And that makes it easier when you go to punch them, because if you stamp kind of down towards the bottom of the paper, actually here is the paper. See, they line up really good to punch them out. And there's 4 different styles of butterflies in here. And I have no idea what they are, so don't ask me what type. Thank you very much, Bex. I truly appreciate that. Okay. It is World Card Making Day today, which is why I'm doing this. There probably are a lot of other companies doing this, you know, having events and stuff, but I'm not being part of those. Now, these cards you could also turn landscape like this. It'll just be a little different shape than the other ones. The other landscapes opened up. Let me show you the difference. If I have another one, maybe. Is this one? Yeah. So this one, it's it's A2, but it's cut 8.5 by 5.5. This one is also out of the same size cardstock, but it's cut on the 11-inch side at 5.5. So you cut your paper in half this way, where this one, you cut it in half on the shorter side. And then this is scored at 5.5, and this is scored at 4.25. But they're both A2 size cards, okay? So the other one was this style, and now we're doing what most people make as a normal way of opening a card. And these are deckled. Now, I might bring in my Rococo Rose and just ink this one. I don't know. And this was coffee stuff on the back of here, see? I was trying not to use the coffee. I wanted to use the florals. Yeah, let me get my Rococo Rose. Now, just thinking maybe that'll pop off of there better or something. And I might do that also on this little piece. Oops. That's going to go. These are also from the deckled rectangles, but they're the smaller ones. Okay, I need a spongy thing. Spongy thing. Ugh. It just has to be pink. Sorry. Uh, I have one for Rococo Rose. Yay! Which one are you? 1 second, bear with me. All right, I think it's this one. I'll test it. It doesn't matter. If I wipe it off a little bit, it'll be okay. Let me do that. It'll be all right. All right, we have Rococo Rose. Really? Wow. Most card companies like Altenew or Honeybee Stamps or any of those stamping companies, Stampin' Up. I know most of them have events of some kind, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the only independent, not selling anything person doing it. I don't know. I just thought I haven't made too many cards lately, other than the one, excuse me, for oops, for who? For Jean's collab, for breast cancer awareness. Yeah, I do like that better. And I think we're going to use pearls on this one, but I might have stuck them in with something else. 1 sec. Excuse me, sorry. I hope that wasn't too loud. Not used to talking this much, other than to myself once in a while, or my cat, or my son every now and then, when he's in a wants to talk to somebody mode. I can't tell. I think this way is how it should go. Okay. You could, if you don't have those little thingies, you can use any, like for a while was buying these at Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them. They're just a round sponge, and cut it in 6 wedges and use that. You can, some people take one of these things, maybe a bigger one though, and, you know, they're like that so they don't have to hold it on the sponge. It is a weird feeling, but, whatever floats your boat. Okay. I might, oh, yeah, let's just edge this while I have it too. This is for the inside. I did not do the deckling on the inside, but we might as well edge it too. And I'm not stamping anything. This is going to be on the inside, because we'll have a little note on the outside. How we doing on time? Oh my gosh, it's 12:14 already? Well, I said an hour to an hour and a half. It might go a little longer, so sorry about that. You feel free to do whatever you have to do if you can't stay. But I'd appreciate it if you do. It says 12 people watching. Say hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. Okay, so let's just glue stuff together. If you don't have to use liquid glue, you can use your glue of choice. I have this one. I use it more for crafty stuff as opposed to cards, because that one, it holds really well, but it does leave lines on thinner papers like this sometimes. I found anyway, unless I'm a little heavy-handed with it though, so maybe that's why. But a lot of people love it. Some people use barely art glue. I don't know. I use art glitter glue, but I tend to use it for detail work, surface areas, because it's expensive. That's my favorite glue, actually. And I have some other ones I haven't really tried yet too. To make sure I'm getting this. Just got. Ugh, I'm a mess. Let me get an eraser. I did my nails this morning, and I guess I don't have any more top coat, and so the color is coming off a little bit. Not too bad. Anyway, 11:15 for you. Yeah, I'm on the East Coast, so you're Central Time, I guess, right? And Martha came here in the wee hours of the morning. Well, I'm glad you guys could join me. I really appreciate it, having the support. Okay, now this one, these were I think the smallest sizes out of the deckled rectangles. I could do this two ways. I could glue this down and just bump this up, but, yeah, I think I'm gonna glue this down onto here and then bump that whole thing up. I like them. You don't have to bump it up at all. You can just glue it down, but, um oh, you know what? Maybe I will just glue it down because I did butterflies. Okay, so I'll tell you about those in just a second. I did something a little different that I don't do very often. And then I use those same glaze pens. I love butterflies. Butterflies and flowers. I like dragonflies too. I used to go fishing with a friend and out on lakes and stuff, and don't do that anymore. Actually, that's going to be floppy. I also, if you know me, I don't like floppy. Nope, let's use the regular one. Floppy things when they're bumped up. This would be a case where foam tape would have been good because you can just cut a piece big enough to go on the whole back. And I have some, but it raises it up a lot more. The one I have, they have it in different dimensions. I just don't have more than one. Apparently Dollar Tree has foam tape too, but I have not found it yet at any of the Dollar Trees, but I have not been in Dollar Tree for about a month and a half now or something. So I've been wanting to go though just to see what's new. I'm kind of getting antsy to do that. All right, so that's just a little note. Did I get it on straighter? Ugh. Oh my gosh. Well, to be honest with you, I got about the same amount of sleep, but I was awake by 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, just bizarre. I was going to glue that down, wasn't I? Well, here's what we're going to do. These butterflies are the ones I showed you from the stamp set and the punch, and I colored them with something I don't use very often, and that is I have this wonderful set of Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. Smooth, rich color lay down. I actually bought these for my jewelry side because I took a class in how to color on metal. Um, and it was using gesso and then uh, drawing a design on the gessoed metal and then coloring it. And these were the pencils that the teacher recommended. So there's a double layer in here. I just used two. I used sort of a flesh colored orange and a nice pink, but I thought they were lacking and I wanted them a little shinier. So I went over them with those same Sakura glaze pens. And then when you stamp them from this stamp set, the bodies aren't there, and I couldn't find my stamp for the body. So I just took the black uh, glaze pen, and when you punch it though, you get a little head and tail thing. My coloring is terrible, but I did the little thing. Now the only thing is there's no antennae. I don't really care, but they have stamps for that too, and I don't know if they're in there or not. But I lost the big body. You could also use if you have like an oval gem, you could just put an oval gem in the middle, and I've done that before. Um, so let's see how I want to do this. No, I think I like this. I'm down too low, huh? Like that? Or, yeah, I think like that. Let me try it the other way around again. Yeah, I like it better the other way. Wow. Well, do you like the Dollar Tree foam tape? Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. I'll definitely look for that. The best Dollar Tree near me is the furthest one away. It's about 15 or so minutes away. But I will look there because, well, I'll look in my local one first, which is pretty close. Okay, so this one I'm gonna just glue down with, oops, art glitter glue. See, everything's sticking to me. Um, because it'll fit over the papers. Okay. If you don't have glaze pens or anything like that, what you can do is just put glossy accents over your coloring, or um, even just like a Wink of Stella or Spectrum Noir glitter pen, something like that. I probably should have edged these a little bit. It's okay. This one, though, is a little bigger, so what I need to do is put little dimensionals on the bottom tails there. Bottom tails, right? Dimensionally challenged. Did I mention that already? So I kind of want the tail, the bottom of the tail to be at that corner. And then we'll just do one and two. You know, when I was working, I used to work a lot of long hours. So a lot of times I didn't get much more than 4 hours sleep. And then I was doing better, getting more sleep, because after a while, that catches up with you, Bex. There, like that. Um, and now I want to have more sleep, but my cat won't let me. So anyway, I think I need one more of these if I can get under there on the end of, ugh, come off, come off, come off. This wing here, right here. There. I think that's all I'm gonna do. What do you think? Does that look all right? Oh, no, I'm gonna put a few gems too. Gotta have gems. It looks, I don't like a lot of white space on my cards. Some people make white space cards intentionally, and I just can't bring myself to do it. You know, like minimalist cards, and I don't know. So I have all these here. I could put a little gold butterfly. I don't know if I want to. Could just put bling, little gold flowers. Nah, black dots, pearls. No, none of those float my boat. So I guess we'll just use these. And maybe one of these butterflies, because then we'll have 3 butterflies. Odd numbers. Hi, sarcastically 60. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, first of all, let's figure out the butterfly, because I do in threes or fives, odd numbers, and then there's not enough room for 5. So we're just going to do 3. So I think a little butterfly maybe. And these are flat, like I said. Maybe we'll put this up here because we have butterflies on either side. And then just some bling. And I think I'm just going to use the little ones again on the, but then we'll have more than, no, I'll just use 2 of these, right? Like that. I think that'll be okay. What do you think? Put my pin in my art glitter glue that's almost empty. I have another big bottle. I just need to take the time and fill up my little bottles. Okay. Getting that put away. And now on the inside, I'm not doing anything except this is a matte, that same paper. Probably the second piece I had. I did not do the decaling on that. Like I said, this is a die decollage. If you don't have those, you can cut out rectangles and use scissors, or I have this thing from Tim Holtz, and it's a paper scraper thing, and then ink around the edges or something. You could do that. So all kinds of options. You don't have to have all this stuff. I just happen to have a lot of it because, yeah, I was Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a lot of years, but I have a lot of other products too, some of which I had from before I was a demonstrator and some of which I've bought since. And some of which I bought while I was a demonstrator, but I couldn't use it when I was a demonstrator, and that is the main reason I stopped being a demonstrator. Plus, I'm old now and I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. I want to just have fun and not sew. Luckily, we'll cover up that nail polish boo-boo. And that's just going to go in here. Hmm, I could stamp something on the inside, or if I have a scrap of this paper, I could have put it over here, but I don't know if I do, and I'm not going to bother. I think I have 2 more cards to go, guys. So I hope you can stick around. And if you missed the beginning, I will show all the cards we made at the very end. The first 2 were fun folds. I don't think I'll have time to use the 3 pieces of paper that I didn't use in the paper pad, so still have to do something else with those. All right, so that's our, what, 4th card? Is that 4 or 5? That is 4, I believe. Yeah, that is 4, a little note, and it can be used for anything, for anybody, right? Maybe not a man, unless they're into butterflies or flowers, but, yeah. Okay, so the next, I might have 2 more. They're just in the same pouch. Okay, so the next one, okay, I'm going to go them out at the same time because they're both sort of the same colorway, but they're different papers. So this paper, which is what we just used, right? Yes, this is what we just used. I had a sliver. I just had a sliver, and this is a different paper. Um, so I needed something to put it on. So this is a color called Mossy Meadow. This is a color called Old Olive. All Stampin' Up! Papers, but you can use whatever you have. And this is from that Echo Park paper pad. So it needed something. So this piece here, it's not an embossing folder. It's actually a die. But you could use stencils. You could use an embossing folder. I'm trying to find the die. And it's retired, I'm pretty sure. It's called Stitched Greenery Die. It's a whole plate, and it just puts in leaf stitches all over, and that can be used for so many things. You could even use it this way with the stitching raised. In fact, I might do that, and I think I'm going to get ink and kind of brush over that a little bit. I'll use a brushy brush this time, and I'm going to use Mossy Meadow to do that. My Mossy Meadow is not very fresh. Heather! Hi, 907 Crafty Life. Who is Heather? Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you all here. Oh, I should make you guys, I'm not good about that. I don't know if I know how to do that. Make people moderators. All right, let me get my scrappy piece so I don't ruin my freshly put down grid paper thing. All right, so I'm just gonna brush over this and it makes the stitching pop a little better if you use that reverse side. But the other side is flat and smooth, so it doesn't do it as much. So you can use, distress oxides, distress inks even for this kind of thing, or any kind of dye-based ink to do this, whatever you have. And I don't know exactly where I'm putting that other piece, so I want to kind of go over it all. And that just makes the stitching pop a little more. Oh, okay. Are you guys okay if I do that? Who wants to be a moderator for me? I'll ask, because I don't know if everybody wants to be. And I think I only have one person as a moderator on my list anymore. that's around. I'm going to leave this ink somewhere close by because the next card uses it too, just in case. Okay, so we have a Mossy Meadow A2, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, same A2 size. This is cut at, I want to say, 5 1/4 this way by 4. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure it is, but yeah, 4 wide by 5 1/4 long. My dirty ruler. Okay. All right. Thanks, Heather, for stopping by at least. You don't mind? And Martha says it. Okay. Oh, add as moderator. Cool. I'll just do standard, right? And Bex. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did anybody else say it? Okay. I think the only, wait. Oh, really, Bex? Your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator's name is also Deb? I'm not one anymore. Um, mine is a local one now, but my upline, she's not my demonstrator anymore. Um, because she's like in way across the country, and I just wanted a local person. Um, so mine is very nice, but I do get emails from her like all the time. Okay, so this is how we're going to start gluing this piece of pattern paper down to the leaf background. Now you could make your own leaf background, just stamp. I do stuff like that too. I have some pieces I still need to use from backgrounds I made, so I haven't done it for a while, but I like doing that kind of stuff. All right, because this is raised texture, I do recommend either like tear and tape or a strong glue, because you see it's even wanting to come up on here. Yes, thank you, thank you. Just in case we get any, it's the weekend, just in case we get any, what do you call them? Bots or people just being nasty. Before I glue that down, I pulled out this one. I've had this piece of, it's kind of dimensional ribbon here. Um, Sort of goes. Do you think that goes? Yeah, it looks all right in the screen. I might put that on that side. We're going to have, this is going to be a thinking of you, and that's going to go over here to kind of break up all that green. I think, do I want it there? No, I think I want it on the edge of that pattern paper. So you know what I'm going to do though? I usually would use a tape runner there or tape it onto the back, but this is a thick ribbon. And actually that paper is just a smidge over, so I'm going to trim that back. So I don't want to wrap it around because it'll make it like too bumpy on one side and not the other. I still didn't get that. So I think if I have any, I think I have some Dollar Tree somewhere. Tape. Oh yeah, here it is. It works okay. I'm all right with this. This is just double-sided art tape, it's called. It was Jot brand, so I guess they don't sell that anymore, right? Come off the packaging so I can open the thing. Sheesh. I'm having a tough time just getting it open. Well, if worst comes to worst, I'll just cut it. Cut that off. Maybe it's, oh, I'm trying to open it upside down. Trolls. Thank you. I knew there was a word for it. There we go. I ripped that off for nothing. It's okay. Ugh. Sorry for the crinkling and stuff. All right, so I'm going to put tear and tape as evenly as I can, or whatever this stuff is called, double-sided tape, as evenly as I can over here. And maybe I need 2 rows of it. That one didn't go all the way down. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna actually do 2 rows. Very close together though. This is how I craft. I just keep thinking about stuff and thinking about stuff. But this has been, I have a little drawer on a card over here, and it's all Stampin' Up! Ribbon. And then I have all my other ribbons, well, most of my other ribbons hanging on the back of a door in one of those shoe things, double-sided shoe things. Anyway, um, this piece is Stampin' Up! And I think the color name is Petal Pink. Don't hold me to that. But I don't know if you can see, it's like fuzzy on this side and plain on the other. Anyway, it's been on my cart drawer, and every time I pull the drawer out, it flops onto the floor, and I just thought, "I'm done with that. I need to use it." So here I am using it. Trolls, that is it. Trolls. I had to stand up again. All right. That looks crooked to me, and I probably can't get it. Oh, I could get it up. Yay. That looks crooked to me still. That looks better, actually, I think. Okay. And by the way, doing that when your paper is slightly crooked helps cover up the slightly crooked. I don't know if mine was this time or not, but oh well. It's okay. Now, let's glue this down to our card. I wasn't really crazy about this card, but I'm starting to like it better. I'm just trying to use up the paper, you know? Trolls. Been a while since I've done a live. I said that before. I like it though. I like chatting with you guys and you having the ability to chat back with me or at me. All right, so I punched out a bunch of I think this, yeah, retired leaf punch. And not to put a flower on or anything, but this is the back of that first paper I used, and it's that rose color. And this is stamped in Rococo Rose, and that sentiment came out of something else. This. This is Current. Thinking of You. I like that font. I like all these sentiments. But I like Thinking of You cards because those and thank yous. Thinking of you can be anything, for any reason. Just, I felt like sending you a card, thinking of you kind of thing. I don't know if I want to use these. I guess I will. A couple of them, few of them, just to make it pop off this. That's why I used a lighter green on the background. Maybe just, maybe 3, one in the middle. And I was going to edge these or make them multicolor, but I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe just around the outside, that part of the circle. What do you think? That one needs to come up a little bit. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to, on one of the other cards, I tucked them in here, but I'm not going to do that this time. I am going to put them on the back. This is a punch, and this is a 2-inch circle punch. I tried it with a 2¼ inch punch, but it was too close to the edge. And one of these is Rococo Rose. I think this one. This paper, it has a white center, so I'm just going to go around this edge a little bit on the bottom. Thank you, Samira. I'll save these two. We might be able to use them on the next card. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, now I do like to use glue dots to put these down, but it's tricky because you know what I'm going to do? Instead of using glue dots, I'm going to put just along here. I'm going to put 2 strips of this tear and tape stuff, double-sided tape, and it's on the think this side because that way I can better place them, I think. Because I have to hold it right side up to stick the leaves on. That's the tricky part, to get them in the right placement. That should be plenty. Now you can curl your leaves, you can draw on them to put more lines and stuff. I am keeping it pretty simple here. And you know it's a card, so where's it gonna end up? In the garbage. I think we had to make sure we have enough room too. I don't want it to go off the edge of the card. So if that's like that, you can go on the designer paper a little bit. Yeah, maybe I didn't get enough tape up here. You would not believe the mess I have around me. Maybe you would. I don't think so. I would not show this to anybody right now. You know, people do craft room things and they do before and after. I'm like, nope, nope, nobody's getting the before. I'll show the after if I ever get it cleaned up, but not the before. I'll just do it like there. Okay, now this is getting bumped up. You believe it, Martha? No, I don't either, Samira. No drawing for me. I can color a little bit, but you love green and pink together? Cool. I'm glad. I knew you liked pink and red, I thought, but actually I'm gonna put well, I'll put another full-size one over here. It'll help hold those down too, just in case that tear and tape doesn't hold. And I am putting more of these on than anybody really needs to, and I don't have to worry about only putting them on one side this time because it's flat here, right? So let's peel these off. And that actually was just a scrap of mossy meadow from cutting something else out. I forget what, but it had already been used, or no, it was a strip of. I thought I saved that because I was thinking I could use it as a stencil. I don't know what I did with it though. Okay, we're almost done the front of this one. And we'll go like that. I got the bottom one a little off, but it's okay. And now I have some retired pink pearls. And guess what color these happen to be? Rococo Rose. So we're going to use them. Oh, that little piece of ribbon's going. We're going to use them, but we might put one there. These are very dimensional, so one there. Mm, 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 mm. There. There. Decisions, decisions. So that is the outside. On the inside, I'll glue this down later. I'm just going to put a piece of white cardstock cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And well, let's just do it because yeah, I do too, Bex. I love dimensionals. And I do use foam tape too, but I tend to use it for larger rectangular pieces rather than smaller decorative pieces, you know? Not putting anything on the inside, not edging it. If I find a scrap of this paper that's the same height, I could glue it there, but I'm not sure I have one, so we'll see. I'm gonna leave these available because we might use them on the next one too. Okay, so that is card number whatever, 5, I think. And one more today. Oh no, we won't use them. Okay, we're gonna use these. These are retired too. I found them in a drawer of bling. Didn't even know I had them, and it says I got them off a clearance rack in 2018. But this color, I think, will work with this next card. Now, this next card is a coffee themed paper from that paper pad, but it also has flowers, so I'm counting it as a floral paper. The other side, which is what I was originally going to use, is this, but I decided this is again mossy meadow. So I cut that same piece of cardstock. I just cut it in half and got two cards out of it, right? And then this is scored at 4 1/4. This piece is cut. Nope, nope. This piece is cut at um 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then this piece is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. Very easy, just an eighth in on from the edge on any piece. And we're just going to go ahead and glue that down. And then this is a scrap from there, and I'm going to put it across like a band. And then I just used that punch. I forgot to tell you. I don't know if it's still current. Decorative circle punch. Probably not, but you could check. And then I used a 2-inch circle punch. And this hello came out of that same layering leaves stamp set that I showed you for the thinking of you. So anyway, let's just glue down. This one's even easier. But maybe we'll use these last two leaves. I don't know. We'll see. What do you use them for, Bax? I know you do a lot of journals. Do you use them in your journals, or do you use them on cards or ATCs or everything? They're the easiest thing to add dimension. And I love Stampin' Up! Ones. They just seem to be the right height, not too high and not too low. And I have tried other ones. I have other ones here. I just keep going back to Stampin' Ups! For those. And I like their colored cardstock too, but I have so much of it and I just need to stop getting new colors and use what I have. The only thing, certain colors like the Rococo Rose, I can't get anymore, and I only have like maybe 3 sheets left. So I was using scraps a lot. The after craft room videos too. Yeah. You keep most of your cards? Yeah, the thing is, I did a flea market, and I took, I would say, 98% of the cards I had made, and I'm talking bins and bags full of cards to that craft fair, and I was selling them. I mean, there were probably 50 cards in each bin or bag at least, and I was selling them at a $5 a box or $3 a bag. And the lady from the flea market was at a was in the parking lot of a consignment shop, and I think it was the lady who owned the consignment shop that bought most of them. And then some other lady bought one, and then the last, I think there was a one bag and one box left. And my friend who told me about this flea market and also had a table there. Her name is Sue. Anyway, her church has Attic Treasures on November 3rd, and I can't go to it because I have a craft fair. My only craft fair is that day. Anyway, she took the rest for Attic Treasures, so the church will benefit from it if anybody buys them. So, yeah, and the lady at the, consignment shop said they'll sell them for, like, 50 cents a card. I'm like, "So they'll make some money," which is good. I think I'm just gonna put these on one side, use them up over here, or should I maybe I'll do it like this. I think like that, maybe. I'm not even sure I love them, but I'm gonna do it because I wanna use them. And since I have the double-sided tape out, I'll do the same thing. So I want it up in this corner and here. So here and here. Let's see if I can see if I can do that. I don't know. And down here. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted them out of here because I kept a few that were fun folds I had made, and some I had already sorted by like birthday, sympathy, or whatever. But I know there were all kind of seasonal ones, Halloween, Christmas, everything in there, and also um, just, thinking of yous and hellos, and there were fun folds in there too because I got tired of sorting them. Some of them were sorted and some were not. I just said, you get what you get. And I think I had one whole bag was thank yous or something, and yeah, they bought that right up. And I used to use thank you cards a lot more, but for customers and stuff, but I'm not selling now. Well, I could still do it if I ever get my Etsy shop moving on my jewelry side and send thank yous. All right, so I just put dimensionals on. We're going to pop this down. And then once we get this card finished, we will bring in all of them and I'll share them with you. I got this one sticking up a little more than the other one. That's just going to go there. And then let's make sure. Oh, they're two different shades, I think. Let me see something. I don't know if I want them or what I do with those pearls. Here they are. Or these pearls. Nah, I think these. The Dollar Tree Jemmies would be good too. I think I'm just going to use these couple little bit darker ones here. All right. They're slightly darker than the ones over here. I'll put one there. And a smaller one up here. And maybe another smaller one up there too. Maybe there. And that, except for putting the inside piece in, should do it. Now I might have a strip of paper, but this is again just cut it 5 1/4 by 4. Well, it'll be a while before I ever get to the after craft room because it's just I've been saying it for months and months and months now. I'm going to clean this up, and every time I start on it, I make progress, and then like right now, I have a basket full of coffee stuff sitting down here. I still didn't finish my bee journal, so it's sitting down there with a basket full of stuff. Now I have a stuff for this, and I have another basket for the all the pink I'm doing with Jean's collab, Jean's hashtag pink ribbon challenge. I guess it is not a collab. So let me get some stuff off of here, and then we'll bring all the cards out and tell me what your favorite is. Okay, so we started with, let's see what we started with. We started with, not that one, this one. Hi, Callie. Callie came up. So this is number whatever. This was my first template. It's a Z fold card. And it's on Rococo Rose cardstock. Paper out of the paper pack. This was textured with Tasteful Textile, I think. And this is a Z fold that is portrait style. This one is the one we did, and I ran out of that paper, enough of it. So I used this paper again. I must have had more of that. But this was a Stampin' Up! Gingham paper. I don't remember if it's current. And these little things were all out of a Thoughtful Expressions stamp and die set. And that I think is still current. And the measurements for this will be down below. Both of these. They're the same exact card, but I just turned it so this one opens this way instead of this way. Okay, so it's easy. It actually is an A2, just like this one, except I scored in the middle to bend it, and it bends backwards. And that's same with this. Okay, so that goes like that. And then we have our pop out card, and this one stands up like this. And I did both of them the same way. Let me see. This is the one that's not crooked. So the first one I did. And this used a heart, what's a heart set that's retired? This one, Punch Party heart set for this sentiment because I needed a long one. But these were from the Thoughtful Expressions dies. And this paper, which I used on both of them, is the back of this paper. So I just cut it, and I must have had two pieces of that too. And where you write on that one is on the back. Okay. So for the measurements will be for that too. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it definitely is a never-ending battle. And I just don't like to take the time to do that when I have so much crafting fun to do. And then I think we did this one next, which is a regular card, but it's cut the long way. And we colored the flower together, and just, this is embossed and splatted with dye-based ink. And then these are iridescent gems. And these were from Thoughtful Expressions stamp and die set too. I tried not to use too many stamp sets and stuff, but then we did this one. This was from a butterfly set and punch, which is retired. But you don't have to have punches and dies for that. You can cut rectangles for this one in different sizes. You can just measure them on a trimmer or measure them, and if you can cut straight, which I can't, cut them yourself. And then if you have stickers, use your stickers. Dollar Tree stickers they have lots of butterflies usually. But I used this, and it came with a punch butterfly duet. It's retired, so you'd have to find it on the side market, wherever, eBay or something. And then we did this one with a full plate stitching greenery thing, scrap of ribbon, that same paper that we used here, and up here, and thinking of you. And then the last one is hello. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And unfortunately, yes, I know you're there, Callie. Unfortunately, I still have 3 full sheets of this paper left. Hi, Wonder Star Art. Welcome. We're almost done, actually. You might have to watch the replay if you want to see how to make anything. But I'm using this. I used this coffee paper pad by Echo Park. I don't know how old it is because there's no date on it, actually. Probably several years old. I don't know. Anyway, I still have this one left, but it's also green on the back, so I could maybe use that, like a mat, and use some of these scraps or something. I'm not sure. And then there were these two, which were cut aparts, but I think I want to use them as black and white and make black and white cards, but I'll have to save that for another day. Because here it is, what time is it? 1 o'clock. So 2-hour live. I think that's probably enough. And thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know in the comments down below after the video which one is your favorite. And maybe you'll win one. And I'll try not to give you one that's crooked. Okay? So if you would like a card, and let me know what your favorite is in the comments after this goes up. Um, I will, I don't know when I'll do a drawing. Maybe mm, this is Saturday, maybe Wednesday. Wednesday? Let me see if I have anything going Wednesday. Wednesday would be the 9th. I think I'm okay on the 9th. So Wednesday the 9th, I'll do a drawing. Okay? Thank you, Bex. I enjoyed talking with all of you too. Enjoy your weekend. See if anybody else is making cards for World Card Making Day, which we're celebrating today. And I'll talk to you again soon, probably on some of your lives and stuff. Take care. Hugs, love, and peace.